Sorry. What's up, guys? Adam Green here with No More News. Thank you all for joining me today. Once again today, Wednesday, November 13th, 2024. Got a debate for you guys today. We're going to be joining us on the show, back on the show, is Russian Orthodox Church. Brother Nathanael is here. He was kind enough to have me on his channel for 2 debates within the last few months. And we thought it would be a good idea, giving Trump's election and some of his nominations, to come on and discuss that, as well as our differences on Christianity. So welcome back to the show. Brother Nathanael, nice glasses. I got to get my glasses out. I forgot about that.
Okay, listen, kid. This is the SWAT team, man. Boom! Bam! The SWAT team. You're in trouble now, kid. I've
Why
been
am I in
hyping
trouble?
this all day because I'm going to whip your ass, kid.
About what?
Sorry. About anything that you put forth, okay?
So
I'm your number
Trump.
one enemy, and not only that, kid, swatting you. I'm your number one. Check this out. Notice her.
When you did that at the end of the last time I was on, I put my hands up like I was wearing binoculars, and then they all clipped it and said, "Look, what's this Illuminati facial sign or whatever?" Just too much. It was obvious. They completely ignore the context of why I did that. But that's how those Christians are. Look, it's a satanic hand sign.
It's called cherry picking. You do it all the time. So
I never cherry pick.
Well, it goes around.
You cherry pick the Bible. You ignore all the kosher parts and focus on the anti-Jewish parts.
No, I read it in context. You cherry pick all over the place.
No, I take in the context too.
All right.
So we'll get to the Jesus debate later, but let's start with the Trump. That's kind of how we've been going back and forth on Twitter. I said Trump's a Zionist. He's appointing a bunch of Zionists to all his cabinet positions, and you said, quote unquote, he's just throwing the Jews a bone. So tell me, how do you think Trump's the first week of Trump's term is going?
It's going great, man. I mean, he just appointed himself Secretary of State. Trump appointed himself Secretary of Defense.
No, he appointed Adelson puppet. According to Trump even tweeted that he's an Adelson puppet, Marco Rubio.
All right, well, fine. Well, that means that he's just a puppet and can be easily marionated.
So everybody's a Trump, but Trump. I mean, I'm sorry, everybody's a puppet, but Trump.
No, I got my notes here, kid.
Okay.
Now the guy.
Show them to us. Show us the notes.
Yeah, here. So you can read it.
No.
My scribble. Okay, look. I'm the only actor in my scribble.
You would not have been a scribe. You're not cutting it as a scribe. Sorry.
Radcliffe knows where all the bodies are buried at CIA, and he's got Kristi Noem under his thumb. Okay.
You mean Kristi Noem at Homeland Security, the Zionist governor of South Dakota, who signed a bill saying ensuring the protection of God's chosen people?
But that was in South Dakota. She was protecting 3 Jews. So who the hell cares? Who were funding her for vice president. But as head Homeland Security, she's got nothing to do with Zionism. She wants to help deport the illegals, beginning with the criminals.
She gave a speech saying how she wants laws against anti-Semitism, and now she's in charge of Homeland Security. And you're not worried at all. Why are you guys Trump supporters bending over backwards to make excuses for Trump appointing a bunch of Zionists? Why?
She's not a legislator. She can't legislate shit. Okay, and Gates, who's the head of DOJ now, came out right away against this anti-Semitism bill that Speaky Johnson signed on to. He said, no way. This is against our First Amendment. And
Gates is an ultra-Zionist too. I just posted a video, 5 minutes, of him glazing Israel in all the typical talking points.
But he's not a legislator. DOJ has nothing to do with making laws. He will de-weaponize DOJ that the Yid Garfinkel was doing. And he will
He's going to weaponize it for Zionists is what he's going to do.
No, you don't weaponize for Zionists. The first thing he's going to do is release the J6 prisoners. He's been against this for 3 years now. Oh, Gates is a great pick, man. He's his own man. And he's a Trump loyalist. He'll work very closely with Donald J. Trump. And I don't care, Zionist, not Zionist. He's not a legislator. Neither is Christine.
So, Brother Nathanael, the guy that's made a career out of criticizing Jews and Jewish power now, thinks it's no big deal that Trump, the greatest president for Israel ever, is appointing all of these Iran hawks and Zionist and Third Temple cultists. The guy, the Department of Defense, Secretary of Defense, is on video saying he wants to rebuild the Third Temple.
Well, hell. Hegseth is a nobody. He's not attached to any bureaucracy of the Department of Defense defense contractors. He's not part of any think tank defense contractors. He's an easy pushover for Trump. I mean, come on. He's just a lightweight Fox News dude. He's the perfect pick. Trump appointed himself Department of Defense head. And you got Elon Musk, who wants to cut. DOGE, it's called Department of Government Efficiency. He's going to start cutting at the Department of Defense. And Hegseth will just go right along with it because he's not tied into any Jewish cabal. I don't care what the hell he says about red heifers or temple. It doesn't mean shit. He's a nobody. He's a nothing. Trump appointed himself Secretary of Defense. I mean, it's just so obvious. This is politics 101. Politics for dummies.
So how come when Biden's in charge, you point out all the Jews everywhere and their positions and you make a big deal out of that, but then Trump appoints a bunch of Zionists who want war with Iran and Russia and are slaves to Zion, and it's no big deal. It's inexplicable that you would give Trump the benefit of the doubt. Like he's going to be in and be the Zog president.
I'm giving him 4 stars. This is his second term. I mean, Biden was senile and he was Jewed up his ass, okay? But this is Trump's second term. He doesn't have a third. He's all about America first. He's got 2 people, William McGinley, who's now White House counsel. He's big America first, election integrity. And the other one is Susie Wiles. Susie does not work for China, like the Twitter twits say. She worked for this Mercury Pharmaceutical years ago as a lobbyist for a year, and then...
That's all I heard about her, is that she's a pharmaceutical lobbyist.
She's not.
You got the Zionist Lee Zeldin at the EPA. You got Marco Rubio, the Adelson puppet, at Secretary of State.
I told you. You look at Marco Rubio, the taco eater, standing next to Lavrov. It's a joke. And Trump will have a big smile knowing that he could just, put his thumb over Marco and say, look, I'll give you a few more tacos, and here's what you're going to tell Lavrov. Trump is in charge, not Marco Rubio. He's no strategic thinker. He can't come close to a guy like Lavrov or Viktor Orban. They're already laughing. Come on.
Okay, so if this is no big deal, if there's nothing to worry about, and you're happy with Trump, how come Netanyahu in Israel is also happy and celebrating and dancing, and Ben Shapiro is taking victory laps and saying how pleased he is with all these appointments?
They got to cover their ass. Netanyahu.
Come on. They're celebrating. They're happy. They wanted Trump in.
Adelson kiss his ass. Listen to me, kid. Netanyahu, when he came out for Biden before the election was even over, it's on record. Trump used an expletive against Netanyahu. He's no friend of Bibsy. Then Bibsy ruined the Abrahamic Accords with Saudi Arabia. Do you think Trump's happy with that? Saudi Arabia just sent their foreign minister to Iran last week to say there's got to be a Palestinian state, and there's no Abrahamic Accords. Trump is a pretty pissed off guy now. He doesn't like Bibsy. He doesn't like Netanyahu. So they're celebrating, yes, of course, to kiss Trump's ass, but they're scared.
No, they're not. No, they're not scared. That's absurd. They're happy. They're ready to annex. They're ready to bomb Iran and annex the West Bank and annex Gaza and expand the territories, illegal settlements.
Well, look, I don't see it happening. We have to see the actual action. They can talk about it. But positively speaking, I think what Trump is doing with these appointees is great. And he's
Stefanik, how about Stefanik at the UN ambassador, an important position for Israel because they veto the votes, they protect Israel, they attack Israel's enemies. That's where they really defend Israel on the international stage. And don't tell me it's not an important position and it's not a big deal, because Israel is constantly complaining about the UN targeting them and being anti-Semitic. And now they got their agent in place there as the brand new Nikki Haley.
She takes orders from Trump. Any UN.
And who does Trump take orders from? Adelson's?
Himself. We don't need Adelson anymore. He got the money.
Yeah, they got blackmail on him. They could, if he doesn't play ball and do what they want, they will dispose of him. I think they have that on him. Probably the Epstein stuff, if not elsewhere.
They already had everything on him, and it didn't do anything. The lawsuits are over. Okay.
What do you mean it didn't do anything?
If they wanted,
he gave them the embassy. He kept all their promises. They're all saying he's the best president for Israel ever. Tore up the Iran deal. They're all hinting, foreshadowing that they're going to attack Iran now.
He already told Netanyahu he wants to end this thing by the time that he's inaugurated.
Yeah, he said that. Right, so he said that. But they're giving mixed signals. What would Trump have to do for you to be like, okay, I've finally seen enough. He's a Zionist. He's a plant. This is a con job. What would he have to do? Would he have to give Netanyahu a blowjob in broad daylight on live TV? Would he have to do that? Would he have to nuke Iran and get us in World War III? What would it have to take before you finally go, okay, he's a Zog puppet?
Nothing. He's proven himself by all these appointees. They're lightweights, easily controllable. And he's got Radcliffe on, who from the beginning doubted this Russia collusion thing from day one. Mm-hmm. He was against this intel about the laptop. Radcliffe is a good guy. He knows where all the bodies are buried at CIA. And Tulsi Gabbard is going to be working for him. She won't have her own voice. She's working for Radcliffe. He's good. The other one who's very good is Susie Wiles. She's going to protect Trump from anybody coming to see him, and she's very America first. The other one that's good is William McGinley. No one's heard of him. He appointed William McGinley as White House counsel. His number one priority is election integrity. America first. America first.
You know who else is his deputy? One of his White House counsel is the Jewish Miller. Kushner is also involved. Kushner and Howard Lutnick are involved with the America First transition team. Kushner's going to be another Middle East advisor.
Stephen Miller is assistant to Susie Wiles. He's nothing. Susie Wiles runs the chief of staff. She's the chief of staff. And he threw Stephen Miller a bone. Maybe he'll write a speech or two, but that's it. Susie Wiles is one tough nut. She's going to protect Trump from anybody that going into Zionism or trying to stop wars. She's the gatekeeper, and she's one tough nut. She doesn't work for China. She's not as a pharmaceutical lobbyist. That's just Twitter twit stupidity.
How about Huckabee? How about Mike Huckabee, the ambassador to Israel now, the end times Christian Zionist fanatic?
He threw a bone to Miriam and the evangelical heretics, okay, who worship Jews more than they worship Jesus. He threw him a bone. But Mike Huckabee does not set foreign policy. No ambassador to Israel sets foreign policy. He's just a figurehead. He's just a meme. He's nothing. He's just a stupid ass. And Trump doesn't want any wars. He knows that. And neither does Elon Musk, nor does Tucker Carlson, who have tremendous influence over Donald Trump, much more than J.D. Vance. You don't see Trump with J.D. Vance at all. And he's pretty much giving that boy the shaft, okay, with his influence.
No, they're not supposed to be in the same place at the same time. It was reported today Israel is dancing in celebration for all of these quote-unquote old-school Republicans that are all backers of Israel.
Well, they're hoping that their dancing will influence Trump. It will not. There's nothing Trump can do. He's already proven to me that he's America first by all these lightweights.
You've got to be kidding me. You're gaslighting us, Brother Nathanael.
DOJ does not do foreign policy. Come on. I don't care. He's a Zionist up his ass. I don't care. Gates is going to de-weaponize the DOJ. He has nothing to do with foreign policy. Everyone's going to keep to their boundaries.
So a government full of Zionists is no big deal to you. That's what you're trying to say. Doesn't matter.
No, Trump is the leader. He's got the mandate. He's a big boss now.
A mandate to do what? To bomb Iran? To make anti-Semitism illegal?
To deport the illegals, starting with the criminals. That's where he's going to start with. He appointed Dan, what's his name? Homan? I forget his first name. Homan at ICE. What's his first name? Tom Homan? I can't.
Yeah, Tom Homan. I think that's it.
Tom Homan. Okay, Tom Homan. They're trying to nail him. Is this racist? He says, no, there's illegals here. We're going to deal with it. This is a major appointment. And Christie's on board with this. She doesn't like these illegals here. She does have somewhat of an America First position, even though she's kissing Jew ass in South Dakota, but who cares? She's not there anymore. I'm very encouraged by what Donald Trump's appointees. I see it real politic. You got to throw out a favor here, gratuity here. You got to appoint a good guy here, a good woman here, and the rest are just lightweights. I'm telling you, Rubio eats tacos. He's laughable. Next to Lavrov, the whole world would laugh.
It's the swamp. He's putting the Zionist swamp back in power. And Netanyahu and Israel are elated about it. Optics Prime says Trump copium is rising faster than Bitcoin. That's true. It is.
Well, Bitcoin is soaring through the roof because of Trump, and he's going to fire Gary Gensler, that Jew, who halted Trump's stock. Okay, Trump sees this. He didn't say anything, but he's going to fire his ass. He's going to fire the right people, and he'll keep guys like Lee Zeldin in, who will start deregulating the EPA, which is destroying our energy industry, so we can start fracking again, which is safe. And Trump is
probably going to give Israel allies and Zionist companies all of the deals. That's what I would think he's going to do there. All the handouts and favors for his Zionist buddies at the ZOA.
The Jews don't drill. The Jews let the Goyim do it.
There's Genie Energy, Rothschilds and Genie Energy. You know, they always go, oh, the land of Israel, there's no resources there. It's just a desert, and we made it bloom. And actually, now they're like, oh, there's a bunch of offshore oil reserves and natural gas and all this stuff. But you know what I think it is with you and all of these Christian Trump apologists? I think you look past the fact that they're all a bunch of Zionists because they still believe in Jesus. They're still on the Christian side, so you guys tolerate them, you capitulate to them, and you ultimately side with them and enable them. That's what I think.
The Russian church that I'm part of is not Zionist. We believe that the Israel of God is a true church, not Jews who crucified Jesus Christ.
That's not what I said. That's you're missing the point that I said. I said
what's your point?
You're excusing and accepting all of these Zionist Republicans in power because at least they give lip service to Jesus. At least they believe in Jesus, so you put up with the fact that they're all Zionist and would call you a evil, satanic, heretic, anti-Semite.
You're putting words in my mouth. I didn't talk about Zionists at all. I said these are lightweights. There's a couple of them that are good, like McGinley, like Radcliffe, like Susie Wiles. The rest are lightweights that Trump will guide. They do not guide. They will be guided. And they will go along with Trump's program, like this Hegseth, whatever the hell his name. Who ever heard of him? No one heard of him. He's not connected to any Jew cabal, you see.
What do you mean he's a regular on Fox News? He pushed for the Iraq war with McCain and Lindsey Graham.
Let him push on Fox News as much as he wants. He's a lightweight. He's a nobody. He does not have any Jew cabal behind him, like Blinken and Noodleman, who got all the neocon Jews behind him, a huge force. Rubio doesn't have it. He has Norman Brayman, who sells a few cars here and there. All right?
Adelson backed him in 2015 before Trump got the nomination. That was their guy. They endorsed and they donated to.
Adelson endorsed a lot of people. All right? So it doesn't matter. Rubio eats tacos. Lavrov will have them for breakfast. And Trump knows that. And he'll be coached what to say to Sergei Lavrov, who will make mincemeat out of him. He'll be laughing at him behind the scenes. He's easily manageable. He'll go along with Trump's program because he doesn't know his ass. Secretary of State.
I'm surprised we haven't seen an RFK nomination yet. You would think he would be. Wasn't his dad Attorney General? But they're making Gates Attorney General, right? What do you think? Where do you think RFK is going to go?
RFK will be. He'll replace Rachel Levine. Okay, the crossdresser. That's what we're all hoping for. That he'll be the head of the health ministry.
Oh, health ministry. That's right. Yeah, wonder why he hasn't said that one yet.
I wonder why too. Maybe he's saving that for a big one. He just appointed Tulsi Gabbard today, so maybe he's waiting. He appoints somebody new every day. Okay, that's his style.
You probably love Tulsi Gabbard, huh? She's like pro-Russia. She's a Russian apologist.
Nah, she's all for Israel and all that crap, but she's nothing. She'll be under Radcliffe's thumb.
Ghost of Roy Cohn says, brother Nathaniel Kopner.
All right, call me names. I don't care.
Brother Nathaniel, it's not Kapner, it's Kopner, because that's all we're hearing is a whole lot of cope. So what do you think Trump's term is going to look like? You really think that would you agree Netanyahu and the rabbis wants war with Iran? They want us to attack Iran, right? You would agree to that?
Ain't going to happen. You kidding?
You think Trump's going to they don't have ways of manipulating Trump and his pro-Iran hawk cabinet to go to war with Iran?
I don't know how pro-Iran they are. I don't think Radcliffe is. No, they don't want war with Iran. That'd be
the Secretary of Defense does. He's been all over Fox News saying to attack them. So did J.D. Vance. Right as soon as he got the VP pick, he said that they need to hit Iran. Trump's been teasing it too, saying they need to attack their nuclear sites and their energy and all that.
That was before the election. He's throwing Miriam a bone. He throws him a piece of matzo ball.
But he threw him a whole bunch of bones after he got elected in 2016 too. People said the same thing in 2016, and they're falling for it all over again. They said, "Oh, Trump learned his lesson. He's not going to surround himself with all these neocons and deep state infiltrators and Zionists and all that." But yet he's doing it all over again.
Adam Boychik, it's a whole new game. This is his second term. He don't get another chance. He wants a legacy. I mean, this is obvious. The man is 78 years old. He wants to go down in history that he did something for America, not for the Jews. He wants to go down in history that this man brought back election integrity, that this man got the Haitians the hell out of here, got the criminal illegals the hell out of here, deregulated the energy industry, stopped the inflation. He will do something about the Fed because this is a top theme for Elon Musk, who's got Trump's ear. He will be in that White House constantly. Susie Wiles and loves Elon Musk. He will have Trump's ear, so will Tucker Carlson, and these neocons will not. They'll be closed out because of foreign
Tucker Carlson's a Zionist gatekeeper too, though. He was promoting Noahides with Ari Shafir the other day and saying he's a big lover of Israel. And who'd you just mention before that too, before Tucker?
Elon Musk.
Elon too. He's Netanyahu's buddy. Elon sat down with Netanyahu and said that he's the unofficial president of the United States. Netanyahu is not concerned about Elon in the slightest.
He doesn't care about Netanyahu. He cares about the Department of Government Efficiency. He's going to begin cutting at the Department of Defense, and Hegseth is the perfect guy to get those cuts going. He's just manageable, pliable. He's putty. These people are putty. There's a few that aren't putty, that are strong, that are good. Gates, but they're Trump loyalists. Radcliffe, he's tough at CIA. He knows where all the bodies are buried, and he was against the Russia collusion hoax from the beginning. He's a good guy. McGinley, he's a White House counsel. He appointed some tough, good guys. The rest are lightweights that basically Trump appointed himself Secretary of Defense. Trump appointed himself Secretary of State. It's so obvious. I mean, I've been studying this since I was a kid. My dad introduced me to real politics. What's possible and where favors have to be thrown around and where you listen to your cabinet people and when you don't.
Okay, we have a $20 dono from the Jakin Inn. He says, a tiger can't change its stripes, so too Nathanael isn't Christian, as if it matters, same side. He's a grifter for stupid boomer Zionist Christians. He is a Jew and always will be. He hates whites. And that's Jakin's words, not mine. I don't know about Zionist Christians loving you. I would think the Zionist Christians think that you're an evil anti-Semite. But the anti-Zionist, so-called anti-Zionist Christians sure love you, and I'm sure they like a lot of this QAnon 4D chess Trump cope that's happening.
All right, let me answer this guy. He says, I'm not a Christian, and I'm a Jew, and name calling, whatever. And I'll pick a Bible verse. You know it, because you know the Bible. I won't answer a fool according to his folly. That's the answer. You gotta love that one, Adam. You know the Bible.
Did you see this? Did you see this? They hate Jesus so much. That's why Netflix has a new Jesus series out called Mary, promoting the birth story of Jesus.
Wonderful.
Why would those Jews at Netflix be promoting Jesus, Brother Nathanael? Does that make sense?
It's money. They want money because Jesus is becoming very popular in the church. Our church, the Russian church, is growing with converts. Not so much with Russians. You go into a Russian church now, most of them are converts, like me. I'm a convert.
Do you think that the Jews are unhappy that Christians around the world are their greatest supporters and believe in their prophecies and worship their God?
Not the Russian church. That's why the Jews want to destroy Russia. They're failing because the Russian church sees the Jews as antichrist, Christ killers. So the Jews hate the Russian Orthodox Church, always have. Try to destroy it with the Bolshevik Revolution, the Jews in the Cheka. But that's over. Trump got rid of all the oligarchs, Jews. One of them killed himself, Berezovsky, and he did something good with the media, but that's another story.
What do you think Trump and Putin are going to do when he gets in with Ukraine?
He's going to end it. Definitely. And the guy who has come out against Ukraine is actually Mike Waltz. Yeah, people say, oh, he's a Zionist, whatever. Mike Waltz at NSA, he's already said, we got to end this thing. So you got people who are right on the right track. Trump is going to end Ukraine. And I'll tell you what Putin is going to do. He's going to make Trump look like a hero. He's going to give him a sweet deal, and he's going to make Trump save face on this thing.
It seems like Putin does want Trump to look like a hero, because right after he got elected, Putin said like something about ending the New World Order, and then he also said that they're not turning away from the dollar as well. So I think he does want Trump to look good.
Of course, he said this to Tucker Carlson. If you look at the transcript, which I read, I watched it for the nuances of the body language, but I also read the transcript of Tucker Carlson's interview. And Tucker can back me up on this. He did say to Tucker, says, look, we can settle this, and I will offer a sweet deal that'll make America look good. He said it out loud right there. So he's going to make Trump look like a hero, so no, the Jews aren't going to come down on him. Trump's going to look like, wow, I saved the day. Look what I did. I don't know what Putin's going to do. Maybe he's going to say, let's get an election going here in Ukraine. And then the Ukrainians will get the hell, Zelensky the hell out. He'll go to his condo in Miami Beach or wherever the hell else he's got condos, because he's got all our money that we've been giving him for the last 2 years.
Doesn't it seem like Trump and Zelensky get along and they're kind of allies?
No, I don't see that. No. I mean, they're very different people. Trump is a businessman, and this guy's a comedian who plays a piano with his pee-pee. No, they're very different people. Nah. I don't see the body language.
So you think Trump's going to get in and force Ukraine to negotiate with Russia and probably give up some of the territories and agree to not join NATO, and then everybody's going to hail Trump as the saving us from World War III?
Maybe you'll give him a little piece here, a little piece there. I'm not sure. But Putin's not going to go along giving up the territories, but Putin will do something.
No, Ukraine's going to give up their territories that Russia has taken.
Well, they give up. They're already taken. to a military operation. That's a done deal. You're not going to change that. And Lavrov and Putin and Medvedev has already said that it's non-negotiable. Okay?
So what? Hold on. Can we go back to the question? What would Trump have to do for you to throw in the towel and say he's a lost cause, he's a Zionist, he's an agent, he's working against us? What would he have to do?
I'm going to pull a Jerome Powell on you. Nothing.
There's nothing he could do to make you realize that he's not going to save us?
He's already done everything to prove he will. How many times do I have to say it? He appointed these lightweights in. Rubio who eats tacos? Come on. This man's not a strategic thinker. He's got an IQ that's no higher than 98. Okay?
Who's somebody worse that Trump could have appointed for these top positions that wouldn't be a lightweight?
All right, listen, look, somebody wants me to ask you a question here, but I can't see it. Ask Adam.
Where are you getting questions from?
Well, Rockwell wants me to ask. Ask Adam what he thinks we need to watch out for during Trump's term. That's what I'm going to ask you, Adam.
Sure. Anti-Semitism laws, expanding the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism, more BDS, and war with Iran. I'd say that's the biggest thing is war with Iran, which will lead to war with Russia and China.
All right, that's what you
That's
think
the
Trump's
biggest threat.
But he has to have that law passed in the Senate. It's already passed in the House. He has to move it to Senate, and the Senate already decided no when it was democratically ruled. Now it's republicanly ruled by Republicans. They're definitely going to say no because they realize it's not going to pass the SCOTUS. SCOTUS will shoot it down. We have to have the freedom to criticize any race, especially with that bill that says you cannot quote the Bible. And Matt Gaetz was the first one. And he didn't come on as a Zionist. He didn't come on as a Christian. He says this is a violation of our First Amendment right when Speaky Johnson signed that law last year, the anti-Semitism law. And it did not pass the Senate as with the Democrats in charge.
But now the Republicans have the House and the Senate. It's led by, they're trying to get Rick Scott in, who's a Zionist, but Mike Johnson is like a John Hagee ultra-Zionist. Soon as he got into office, his first thing was to vote on a pro-Israel bill.
I know, but you have at the DOJ now, Matt Gaetz, that said immediately, no way that this would ever pass. SCOTUS will shoot this, stomp this down in a minute because it violates our First Amendment freedom of speech.
All right. Can I play you the compilation I made of Matt Gaetz?
Yeah, I saw it. I follow you. I'm a pretty loyal follower.
You watch.
I disagree, even though I can tear you into pieces in any debate. I've seen it. You want to play it? Go ahead. Play it.
Yeah, let's play it. Here, let me get my share screen so you can hear it correctly.
They want to use what I think is a natural inclination of Americans to stand with Israel and to support a land that's got a 4,000-year connection to our faith. They want to use that to get support for Ukraine. Then you bring in someone like Mike Johnson, who is rooted in the right things and wants to empower the membership. You know, the first thing he did was pray. The second thing he did was give a speech about
the first thing he did was vote on Israel and say that he's voting on Israel. He's rooted in the right things. He's a hardcore Zionist.
Yeah, he did the BDS immediately after the recess, the Christmas recess. He's scum. He's just a scumball.
The importance
if anyone's not a Christian.
You don't think he's a Christian?
No. How could he be? He's all for the genocide. He said no ceasefire. That means you're for the genocide. He's no Christian. No, I'm not even going to go there. I don't know what he is, okay? But I think he's good for America first. I think he's excellent.
Really?
On this term, not him, not Speaky Johnson. I'm talking about Trump. This is his second term. He wants a legacy that he's going to do something for America, deregulate the energy industry, start drill, baby, drill. He says we got all kind of oil, liquid gold. He wants to do something about inflation so young people can start getting a down payment on homes. He said that at the RNC speech. That's when I first listened to this guy. And I said, let's see if he's following through. And I see these appointees as following through because they're lightweights, except for a few who are very good. And guys like Hegseth, guys like Mike Waltz, Gabbard, they're easily manageable. They will not guide. But the good thing about Tulsi Gabbard, she was on some kind of no-fly list. She could still fly, but they pushed her all over the damn place. Now she's the head of Director of National Intelligence. And that's a slap in the face at TSA and Homeland Security. And they got a good girl at Homeland Security now that I don't think is going to go along with Mike Chertoff, who runs it. And Mike Chertoff was all for flooding our country with illegals.
Kristi Noem is the good girl, the one that says that she has to ensure and protect God's chosen people.
That was when she was in South Dakota.
That was like earlier this year. That was a few months ago.
Well, that's governor of South Dakota. Now she's head of Homeland Security, and she's not a policymaker she's not a legislator. She will fall into line with Homan and start deporting. She will facilitate that as much as she can, and she's going to stop. She's going to help Trump with building the wall. She's very good at Homeland Security. I'm very pleased with it.
Okay, we have 25 dono from Justin Sama says, it's a delusional cope to think that Trump administration is good for the U.S. or the world. So far, he appointed either Jews or massive Israel supporters, most of them for anti-Semitism laws and war in Iran, Gog and Magog war incoming, and that's not good news for 2/3 of the world. Yeah, I mean, you always talk about how much power Jews have. Like, do you think that they don't have the power to accomplish their end goals? You've often said Israel's not going to exist that much longer. They're going to be destroyed. You're still sticking by that.
Okay, the thing that Trump has to watch out for is the sabotage of his presidency 2 years in. The Jews would consolidate all their economic power worldwide and their financial power worldwide for 2 years. Then they can tank the economy. They can do it in an instant. There's just many ways they can do that because they want to prevent a sovereign America. They want America to join a global glob that the Jews are in control. They fear a sovereign America where Trump supporters and Trumpsters can turn against the Jews on a dime. They're scared to death of it.
I don't think they're worried about evangelicals turning on them as a dime. I think they've got them under their thumb, and they're their greatest allies, and that's who got Trump elected. And I'm seeing E. Michael Jones say stuff like Trump did a bait and switch or Trump betrayed his base. No, his base are a bunch of Zionists, and he's pleasing his base and all of his Zionist supporters.
I disagree with E. Michael Jones' position on this, totally. No, he didn't betray anybody. In fact, he supported his base by appointing these lightweights. Marco Rubio as Secretary of State is laughable. Hegseth, a Fox News commentator at the Department of Defense, Trump appointed himself as Secretary of Defense. It's so obvious.
So you're happy with Zion Dawn, Operation Warp Speed, greatest King Cyrus, King David to be dictator? You're basically implying that he's a dictator if all of these are lightweights and they don't have any sovereignty of their own.
He can't be a dictator. He's got to work with Congress, okay? We still do have the three branches of the government. He's not a dictator. He's not a Hitler. He's far from it, okay? In some ways, he should be a dictator, yes. But I don't see him as we can't go back to ancient history. Hopefully he gets RFK Jr. in at health, and he's going to make sure that any vaccines that come along, like this bird flu vaccine, they all got it ready, are tested, and there's nothing lethal in them. He'll be very good. I just haven't seen anything yet about RFK Jr. He's not talking. No one's interviewing him. He's not saying anything. Trump's not saying anything. I'm a little worried about that.
I'm not. He's going to get a top position. RFK is probably getting health ministry. I wouldn't doubt it for a second. We have almost 900 people watching us right now. We got another super chat here from the Jakin. Says, what does Brother Nathanael think about Noahide laws?
Okay, they passed that years ago. To hell with it. All right, it's meaningless because the church is getting stronger and stronger. Many are joining the Russian Orthodox Church. And that's why Netflix is doing something on Jesus, because they see the trend that Jesus is popular again. And I think I have something to do with that. I think we're becoming stronger in our Christian worldview and seeing the mores of the church. I'm talking about the Orthodox Church. And you're seeing more and more that people are not pleased with the Jews. In fact, the Jews are hated worldwide. And I see these young kids on TikTok. And I don't know if they're part of the church or not, but they're coming out against the Jew lobbies that the Jew lobbies, AIPAC, they say, is enabling the genocide of Gaza. These are young kids that have a functioning conscience. And all these protesters, they are not foreign students. Okay, now maybe Trump wants to deport the foreign students, but these are white kids I see at Columbia, at Yale, at UCal Berkeley. These are young white kids with a functioning conscience that never heard of Hamas 2 years ago. They're not pro-Hamas. They're not pro-terror. They are pro-humanity. They are against genocide. These are good trends that I'm seeing. I see the trends, and I'm very, very pleased.
$5 from Pavlov Puppy says, Trump, this must be one of your guys, Pavlov. I don't recognize that name here. Trump wants to end the Ukraine war, but after pulling out and appeasing Russia, will that not just be a bargaining chip to get Russia to stay out or go easy when they invade Iran or Israel? We know they want war with Iran, have for decades. Trump is their Moshiach. Stop playing stupid, Bronat.
Trump is not the Moshiach. Come on. The Hasidim will tell you who Moshiach is, not some stupid fat rabbi that you put on a few months ago. No, they will tell you who Mashiach is, the Antichrist.
That rabbi says Trump is not the actual Moshiach. He's just messianic, or he's the Messiah of Edom. So maybe he's their anti-Messiah. But hold on, what is it? Trump wants to end the Ukraine war, but after pulling out and appeasing Russia, will there not just be... If Trump does negotiate with Putin in Ukraine first, will that mean that Russia will allow America to bomb Iran and they won't intervene if they already worked out a deal? What do you think the chances are that we're going to have war with Iran and Russia in Trump's next term? You know this is the Gog and Magog rabbi plan, right? War, Edom, the West, war with Russia, Iran and Russia. What do you think the chances of that happening?
The rabbis have zero influence politically. And the people who did, Blinken, Noodleman, all the neocons, are out. Trump doesn't want it. There's not going to be any war with Iran. Zero. Trump has said it.
Does Netanyahu want war? Does Netanyahu and Likud and the Third Temple fanatics in Israel, do they want America to be in a war with Iran?
They'd love it, but it ain't going to happen.
You don't think that? So they don't have enough power? They can't stage an attack, or they can't take advantage of something that happens and manipulate Trump to go into war? You really think Trump's going to stand up to that?
No, the American people voted the power out. The Jew power is not going to be part of Trump's administration. It's going to be America.
The 20% of Jews in America, the religious right, and Ben Shapiro and Likud wanted Trump in. They were desperate for Trump. They were bending over backwards, giving him every award they could. Did you see on Election Day in Crown Heights, there was a truck going around with speakers, and it said, "We're ready to sit on the throne, and Trump helps us," and stuff like that. It's really baffles me, Brother Nathanael, that Trump could be so Zionist, and you could say it's no big deal, and he's America first. It's shocking to me.
Look at the appointees. They're lightweights that he can just guide and say they're loyalists to Trump. He said, this is our position. We're not going to bomb Iran. We're going to make a deal with Putin, and we're going to get out of Ukraine. And the taco eater, Rubio, will go along with it. That's all. I mean, he's nothing. He's not a strategist. I keep on saying, can you imagine Rubio next to Lavrov? It's laughable. Trump knows that.
Well, it's not Rubio. It's going to be Kushner probably over there talking. He's the one that does all the international stuff. Or it'll be following Kushner and Trump's and Netanyahu's notes.
Kushner's out of the scene.
No, he's not. He's part of staffing the next administration. He's talking about being a Middle East advisor. Howard Lutnick was interviewed and said, yes, Kushner is working with him in the America First Policy Institute, the transition team, to staff the new cabinet.
Okay, Trump is a smart, savvy guy. He'll keep them close. It's like Godfather. He says, keep your enemies close. Okay. It's that kind of a thing. So he'll act along, he'll act tough and all that crap. There's not going to be any war with Iran. He wants this Gaza thing over. He's going to stop the money printing and all these bombs for these genociding. He wants it over. He wants America first. This guy has no power whatsoever anymore.
You know that the national debt went up under Trump, right?
I'm talking about Shapiro. He has no power. Huh?
Mm-hmm. Shapiro is one of the biggest influencers on the right. Hold on. Let's listen to this real quick.
I've got a fever, and the only prescription is more winning. Really, really enjoying the staffing of the new Trump administration. According to the Wall Street Journal, there are a couple of picks that have been made.
Wait, Israel's West Bank settlers hope Trump's return will pave the way for major settlement expansion. And Jewish Daily Forward, your complete guide to Trump's Jewish advisors and pro-Israel cabinet. Loyalists with strong pro-Israel stances.
It's all hope'em.
Oh, so they're the ones coping. Trump's just pretending to be owned by the Jews and give them all this power, but really he's secretly America first. Really? I have a hard time finding you really believe this.
There's nothing secret about it. Look at his major appointments who are America First people. Susie Wiles, Radcliffe at CIA. Kristi Noem really is America First. She wants the deportation. Holman at ICE. I mean, come on. They're going to start deporting. This is all America First. And he's got a deregulator, and Lee Zeldin has come out that he's going to start deregulating at the EPA to get our energy back. So it's cheaper energy, and the young people can buy groceries and get a down payment on a home. That's Trump's America First. He's not secret about it. He's come right out about it very publicly. And he's appointed America First people. Susie Wiles, Radcliffe, and McGinley, White House counsel. He's going to start with election integrity. And we're going to have same-day paper ballots because of McGinley. Trump has proven to me that he's America First. Nothing secret. And these Israelis and Jew lovers and Jews are just doing hope'em, cope'em. They ain't going to get it.
Here's John Ratcliffe, Trump's CIA director, is a vocal Iran critic, and he complained that Biden was diverting assets away from Hamas, intelligence about Hamas. That's who you're excited about, the another guy that wants war with Iran. And none of this is going to matter. The deportations, the sex changes, the economy, none of this is going to matter if Trump gets manipulated into bombing Iran, which is what they want. And do you really think that they don't have the capability to get us into war with Iran?
No, the manipulating days are over. They tried it with all the lawsuits in Georgia and New York. Didn't work. Whatever they had on him, if they had anything, they had something on this strip teaser, whoever the hell her name was. I forget her name. All right. Hush money. They didn't, if whatever they had on him, they've already used. There's nothing for them to use anymore. He's got the mandate from the American people that hate the leftist agenda, that don't want any of the wars, that are very concerned about the economy, that hate the inflation. They can't afford eggs anymore. It was $1 a dozen. Now it's $4 a dozen. And Trump says he's going to bring it down. Now he's got this guy, Elon Musk, who has the ear of Donald J. Trump more than anybody. And Elon was just appointed today the head of the Department of Government Efficiency. They're going to start cutting at the Department of Defense, and they got Hegseth, the lightweight, that'll just go right along with it. This is beautiful. I am very happy. I'm in a very positive mood.
Okay, here's Jakin for $20 said, look at him squirm. He's so disgusting. That's not nice. All he can do is deflect and lie to continue the grift from stupid boomers.
How am I deflecting and squirming? I don't see it.
Just tell him to send me more money. This is a new name. I don't recognize this name, Jakin. Has Jakin donated before? Or maybe he's just one of your haters or something. He came out.
Adam, you have haters for your reasons. I have haters for my reasons. Yeah. I don't give a damn. Look, send $100 and just slander the hell out of me.
Please. Thank you. Please, Jakin, please do that. Let him have it. I'll read those. I'll read these $20 bashing comments on Brother Nathanael all night. Keep them coming.
It's not enough to slander me. You slander me for $100. You hear me?
All right. Archie says, the most important questions of the stream, Brother Nathanael, for each of the following, what are your favorite beer? Hard stuff? Hold on. What are your favorite beer, hard stuff, red wine, white wine, and do you like your martini shaken or stirred?
No, I do straight Scotch.
Scotch.
Single malt.
Straight malt single Scotch with like a big ice cube or anything?
This is okay, but it's not Russian. It's absolute. I want Russian.
You drink Russian vodka?
Yeah, but this isn't
straight.
Russian.
Whoa.
It's the only way. I don't mix anything. I don't dilute.
Yeah, you're too hardcore. You're drinking the Russian vodka like the on Purim, like the rabbis getting all wasted.
Yeah, wait a minute. Here's the Russian. This is Russian. Give me a shot of this, man. Boy. Yes, sir. Oh, I'm loosened up now. I really squirm.
Okay, Justin Sama says it's textbook.
Orthodox Church, that proves it.
Justin Sana says it's textbook. Let's say Russian and Ukraine make peace. Oh, cool. Thanks, Trump, Moshiach, Zion, Don. U.S. still attacks Iran for sure, and Russia has a defense deal with Iran. Gog and Magog, World War III is inevitable. Zog and Christ Cucks happy.
Send me $100.
Will you be happy? Do you believe that there has to be an end times war and birth pangs of the Moshiach in the Antichrist before Jesus returns?
Maybe years from now. It ain't going to happen now because we have a big movement for sovereign nations. I mean, did you ever hear of BRICS? It's all about sovereign nations having their own polls, having their own culture, having their own politics, but uniting together with economic trade. This is the big thing now. The Jews don't want that to happen to America. Trump would like to see it happen to America. Mr. Trump, you got to start by ending the Fed, and you do it in increments. Start by backing our money with gold. Start with that. Because the Jews are going to tank the economy in 2 years. I'm convinced of it. They can do that in an instant. That's not a hard one for Jews.
They're probably going to, they could use Bitcoin. A Bitcoin crash, they'll pull the rug from Bitcoin, and that'll trigger the collapse of the West and Edom. My buddy See Through It All has a comment here. He says, ask Brother Nathanael, where is Jesus going to set up shop when he comes back?
Well, there's going to be a new heaven and a new earth. So some of these people say, hey, there's no segregation in heaven, but we're going to have a new earth. And we're all going to be with the one.
What does a new earth mean?
Well, it's going to create a new soil, new earth, a new globe. Or a new flat.
A new planet? We're going to have a new planet? What's going to happen to the old planet?
It's going to be burned up. The Bible says that. You know the Bible. You know the passage. I don't have to tell you. There's going to be a new heaven and a new earth. So on the new earth, I'll be with my loved ones. I'll be with the people I like. I like you.
I'm not going to heaven, Brother Nathanael. If the heaven's real, I'm not going there, and I don't want to.
Right now, you ain't going, but I'm working on getting you in.
Dude 77 says, Adam, this guy is an undercover Jew. Bro, is that true?
Yeah.
Are you seriously Jewish, Brother Nathanael? How dare you keep this secret from us?
Tell him to send $100 and I'll answer him. How much did he send?
Yeah. Rabbi Nathanael, he says, Rabbi Nathanael.
Rabbi means teacher. I'm a teacher, man. When Brother Nathanael speaks, goys listen. Like your goy friends. You have boyfriends? You have goy friends.
I have neither.
Oh, I'm having a good time here. We're going to debate the church?
Let's go. We got like 10 more minutes to go. So let's back up for context. I posted something about a Orthodox priest, and I said he looks just like a rabbi. And then you came in and said, like, yeah, you're the real Pharisees or something.
I didn't say Pharisees. Pharisees are Talmudic. That was the beginning.
That's what Jay Dyer said. Sorry, Jay Dyer says that he goes, the Orthodox Church does the temple Hebrew liturgy, and we're the continuation of the Pharisees, and that's why the Orthodox priests dress like Pharisees. Excuse me, I got to sneeze again. Go ahead.
See, you're sneezing. All that snot and mucus for Jay Dyer. He's a heretic. Look, he's good at mystery novels. Let him stick to that, okay? But he's a total bore. I don't know how he got on with Alex Jones. The guy is just a total bore. You can't listen to 10 seconds of the guy. And
I agree.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people agree. I know some people on the staff at InfoWars that... but I'm not going to go there, okay? That's another thing. But the church is not the continuation of the Pharisees because Jesus Christ condemned the tradition of the elders, which was what the Pharisees espoused, the tradition of the elders, which contradicted the Bible. So you have modern Judaism, which began as a reaction against Jesus Christ in the church, which is Talmudic, which is not biblical at all. They have no priesthood. They have no temple. So they had to establish the Pharisaical rabbinate. So Jay Dyer is a total heretic and a total bore. This is not true. The church, as I said to you, as I wrote to you, because I'm constantly writing to you and following you and all that stuff and probably building your followers because of me. So your people should thank me for that.
You're building my... Yeah, I don't think any of your Christian followers... Or actually, I shouldn't say. I'm probably winning. I am converting and green-pilling some of your followers. I bet you I'm green-pilling more your followers than you're converting my followers. I think you're losing. That's the real test.
No, they write to me all the time, said they want nothing to do with you anymore. I said, get them.
Yeah, right. Show me one of those that somebody wrote to you. I want to see that.
I'll show you. Now, let me talk about this. The Orthodox Church, the reason why our priests look so Jewish, okay, with their long beards, okay,
funny hats,
their Nazarite hairs and their hats, is because we are the true extension of the Hebraic ethos of the new covenant. We are the true Israel of God, which always meant those who follow the covenant of God. Now we're the new covenant. So we are the true Hebrews. The church is the true Hebraic ethos. And we have continued the priesthood, which David predicted, and you know it because I know you know the Bible pretty good. We had the priesthood after the order of Melchizedek, who had a big long beard and looked very Hebrew. That's all I want to say there. Now, someone sent $100 for my intelligence.
Yeah, where's the $100 insults
We're splitting,
brother Nathanael? No, we're not. We're not splitting today.
Oh, we're not. You can.
I didn't agree to that. Psalms 110. You just cited Psalms 110. What was that?
You can have it all, kid. You can have 100%.
Yeah, I need it. I got babies to feed.
No, you do. You got another baby, and you got a son on the way. I'm praying for that. Another.
Yeah, I'm already trying again for the male heir. No time to rest. Time's a ticking.
Followers of me.
Time's a ticking. Eggs a dropping. So hold on. You just cited Psalms 110. You said David said this about you were a priest forever in the order of Melchizedek. But let's look a little closer. Zoom enhance, not on the blood cancer guy. This one right here. Talking about Jesus, it says, "Sit at my right hand until I make your enemies a footstool for your feet." Meaning the enemies of the Jews. Jesus now rules over the enemies of the Jews. "I will extend your mighty scepter from Zion, saying, rule in the midst of your enemies." So Jesus rules amongst the Gentiles, amongst Rome today, and that's the enemies of the Jews. Jesus ruling over the enemies of the Jews.
No,
as
David,
planned.
Do not I hate those who hate thee, O Lord. It's the Jews who hate Jesus.
No, it was Jews. All the first followers of Jesus, and the only people waiting for a Messiah were the Jews. It started as an exclusively Jewish movement.
No, David called the Jews sons of strangers, whose backs are bent over. He was very anti-Jew.
King David was not anti-Jewish. No way.
It's all over the Psalms, man.
It's all over the Psalms saying that they're God's chosen people, and they're going to win in the end. He will punish them, but they're still going to win in the end and rule over the goyim.
That the Jews would reject their king, Mashiach. and that they are sons of strangers. They're not true sons of God. It's all over the Psalms. It's everywhere.
They would reject him, but then recognize him in the end. Like Psalms 2:9, you will break them with a rod of iron. You will dash them to pieces like pottery. That's talking about the Gentiles. It's talking about the Goyim, the nations.
Well, because they were always the enemies of the church, but they're not now. Now the sons of Japheth are the ones that built the church and built the greatest civilization that ever existed, the European civilization, the church. The sons of Japheth, the white Hellenics, I'm talking about who were Hellenics, part of the Hellenic legacy. They came into the church and they built the greatest civilization, the European civilization that America inherited. And Trump hopefully will begin to build this kind of national unity again. I'm going to do a stream on this tomorrow, the return of national identity. It's going to be powerful.
Psalm also says, I will make the Goyim your inheritance, the ends of the earth your possession. You will break them with a rod of iron. You will dash them to pieces. You kings, be wise, you rulers of the earth. Celebrate his rule with trembling.
Right. But
it's all about conquering the Goyim. That's the whole point of Judaism. Before Christianity existed, the whole goal of Judaism was to have the Messiah and the God of Israel conquer the Goyim. And now Christianity has that same goal, right?
You're quoting it out of context. He says, why did the people rage? And the people imagine a vain thing. Yea, have I set my king upon my holy hill. He's talking about the Jews there.
No, the people that rages it says the people rage and the nations plot in vain. And Acts cites that and says that's the Pharisees and the Romans. So it's both.
People. The Jews have always been the people, according to the Psalmic language. The language of the Psalms is the people of the Jews. They're raging, and the nations imagining something vain. That's the crucifixion of Jesus. And he resurrected, and God the Father says, I've set my king on the holy hill. And you better kiss this. You better kiss my son, or else you're in trouble. And the inheritance is that the sons of Japheth, Noah said, would take over all the blessings and promises given to Seth that Seth repudiated at the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. They don't have it anymore. So I have to go to the sons of Japheth, who built the church, who taught us what the church is. I have to go to the church fathers, the sons of Japheth. That's what I have to do as a former Jew who's been baptized into the Orthodox Church. I'm a new creation in Christ. The deicidal curse has been washed away. The spirit of Antichrist has been dissolved in holy baptism of the Orthodox Church. So I am a member of Christ's body, no matter what your flukes say. They want to say it again? Send $500 and slander me again.
Well, we just got $50 in from Big Mama. My Big Mama, my sugar mama tonight. Thank you, Big Mama. Says, so fucking frustrating to know that all the Old Testament stories are just copied from much older civilizations like Sumerian, Babylonian, Canaanite, Egyptian, Greeks, and many others. The Jews stole it. Big Mama, have you been watching Gnostic Informant? He's been covering a lot of that lately.
Prove it. Prove it, Big Mama. Prove it.
Prove it.
That's all I have to say, her.
Okay. Thank you, Big Mama.
100 and prove it.
And the last one, Psalms 22, which is a heavily sourced psalm for the Jesus narrative, says, all the ends of the earth will remember and turn to the Lord. All the families of the Goyim will bow down before him. For dominion belongs to the Lord, and he rules over the Goyim.
Over the nations. It's not using the Goyim in a derogatory manner there.
That's what the rabbis say. Oh, Goyim just means nations, Yeah, but go read what the Bible says about the nations, and then you realize the negative connotations.
They'd receive the Messiah that conquered death. He is restoring creation, renewing the cosmos. That same Messiah that the Jews crucified and rejected, the Christ killers. And that's the position of the Russian Orthodox Church and the Church Fathers.
Is the Russian Orthodox Church happy that the Jews killed Jesus? Because you wouldn't have your religion if they didn't.
Well, because Jesus allowed them to kill him. It was his plan.
Right. So why blame them? Isn't it silly to blame them if it was Jesus's plan? Your plan for salvation. Like St. Paul says, if their transgression brought your salvation.
But they're still blameworthy. God allowed it in his providence for the Jews to do something wicked, to crucify his only begotten son. He allowed it. They didn't do anything that he didn't allow. So they are blameworthy, and they better repent, and they better get baptized, or they're going to hell, every single one of them. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to start with Merrick Garfinkel, because that Garfinkel just got a slap in the face, because Gates is going to de-weaponize the DOJ. I'm very pleased of that appointment.
Why are you concerned with the de-weaponizing the DOJ? If anything, he's going to weaponize it for Trump and Adelson and Netanyahu and Likud. They're going to target anti-Semites. They're going to target you and me. We got banned from YouTube while Trump was in power. No, you think he's going to put an end to that? You think Trump's going to save us from censorship?
He's talking about it. He just came out with this thing. He's going to have an internet freedom bill. That was Susan Wojcicki, the private company. Okay, you can't bake if you refuse to bake a cake. Okay, that's not private. But if you ban you and me, when Benjamin got banned, we were all in that together. I was the first. Okay, we all go back, the three of us. All right, to the ban. It was Susan Wojcicki. Well, God took care of her. She's dead. I got a picture. Want to see a picture of Susan Wojcicki? I got one.
Maybe we can get our YouTube channels back, huh? Now that she's gone.
I'm praying for that. They banned my Bible with brother. I was doing much better than that heretic Dyer, Jay Dyer.
Why do you call Dyer a heretic? Because he says Jesus is Jewish?
He kept on saying Jesus was a Jew. Jesus was a Jew. That's a heresy.
He's just citing the New Testament, though. It says Jesus was a Jew in the New Testament all over the place.
Nowhere. No. The only place you could cite it would be his argument with the Samaritan woman, but it was a geographical argument. She says, here's where we worship God, in Samaria. He says, no, it's in Judea. It's the Judeans where salvation is. It was a geographical argument. He didn't even say I'm a Judean. And if he did, that's fine, because he wasn't even a Judean, actually. He comes from the tribe of Judah, but geographically he was from Galilee. So this is not true. He never said he was a Jew, and he can't, because a Jew is particular and it's not generic. So that divides him into two persons. He's one person, the eternal Son of God, with his divine nature.
So what was he? He was a Gentile? Because he was circumcised on the 8th day and studied Hebrew Torah in synagogues. Who did that besides the Jews?
According to his humanity, he's the eternal Son of God in the eternal divine nature, which he shares with the Father and the Holy Spirit, who became man generically. He assumed I am personal humanity. To call him man is fine, because that's universal and generic. And he calls himself, which is a messianic title, Son of Man. But to call him a Jew, like the heretic Jay Dyer says, is heresy. Because that divides him into two persons. A Jew is in contrast to a non-Jew. That makes him both a Jew and the person of God. That's a heresy that was condemned at the Third Ecumenical Council, which Dyer doesn't know because he's into mystery novels. Okay?
I'm all for the Dyer hating. I think that's funny. Dyer sucks. Stacia says, thank you, Stacia. She says, thanks, Adam and Big Mama. It's all a farce, a story, and a bunch of fucking bullshit. I agree, Stacia. I think it's all a bunch of fairy tales.
Prove it, Stacy. Send him $500 and prove it. Because I'm not getting a cut on this. Prove it.
You should say, you're not getting a cut, so send me nothing. And then they'll really donate. No. Matthew 2:2 says, where is the one who has been born King of the Jews? And if you read the Greek, if Jesus is not a Jew, then the Jews didn't kill Jesus, because they use the same Greek word for both.
The Greek word is idea.
Yeah, and they use the same word for both. The Jews killed Jesus, and Jesus is a Jew. It's the same word.
Well, it's Judean. It always meant Judean.
Well, that's the word for Jew.
Well, but generically, it's become all people of the race of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, but in the Bible, it's always been Judea.
What percentage of Christians in the world will admit that Jesus is a Jew without question? Would you estimate?
Well, they're heretics.
So the vast majority of all Christians are heretics that are misled about Jesus being Jewish? They're all wrong?
They're not in the Orthodox Church. They're not in the Russian Orthodox Church, which has carried the same tradition that the apostles established. The Russian Orthodox Church has maintained true Israel of God dogma. There's some modernistic type of churches out there like the OCA and the Antiochians. Okay, but
well, I've read the Eastern Orthodox Study Bible, and I know you disagree with it because you say it's not Russian Orthodox Church, but it says all over the footnotes that Jesus is Jewish.
It was written,
and salvation comes from the Jews.
It was put together by former Baptists who are Jew lovers. Okay, it's not. I don't use that commentary.
Yeah, I'll quote you on that when I debate the Ortho Bros. I'll say this was written by a bunch of Jew lovers. Brother Nathanael told me.
The Ortho Bros are a bunch of Protestants that are bringing the Protestant dogma into the Orthodox Church.
Well, that's funny because there's nothing they hate more than shitting on Protestants.
Stay away from the Ortho Bros. All they do is attack me, okay? Because they're Jew lovers and they're still Protestants. And they are defiling the Orthodox Church. They should not be teaching. Jay Dyer should not be teaching either. He's not a teacher. No. Stick to mystery novels, Jay Dyer. That's it.
Stacia again for 20 says 20 more for Adam's girls, and she says the Bible is fake.
You know, you can say these things, but you got to prove it. It's easy to
prove it's real.
I don't have to prove it.
Hold on. Would the Jews ever make up a story, Brother Nathanael? What's more likely, all these magical things happened, and the Jews were really chosen by God at one time, or some Jews made it up? What's more likely, do you think?
Apostles went out and got themselves persecuted, whipped, killed. Not for some myth, not for some made-up story. You don't do that. Now, the Bible speaks for itself. The Word of God authenticates itself of power. It doesn't have to be proven. Once you start proving the Bible, you're getting into intellectualism and Jay Dyerism, mystery novels, okay? It is power. When I read the Bible, the New Testament, I didn't have to have somebody proving to me. I read the Gospel according to St. Matthew chapter 1, and it was power. I was convinced, yes, Jesus is the Messiah.
So dying for your religion proves that your religion is real?
It proves it for the apostles. They went out and
But if a Muslim dies for their religion, that doesn't prove Islam is true.
I don't see too many Muslims doing that, okay?
There's lots of martyrs for Islam, if you haven't noticed. And I just noticed, sorry, Pavlov puppy, I assumed you were Brother Nathaniel's guy because you have Pavlov for some reason. But he says Adam proves it all the time, so he must be a regular green-pilled.
Pavlov dog, that's all he is.
Pavlov's dog. Okay, well, we got you on record now. The very beginning of Trump's term. There's about 900 people watching right now, so this will be on the record on the internet forever. Brother Nathanael saying Trump and all these Zionists is America first. We'll see. We'll see how this plays out. We'll see if Trump starts a war with Iran. We'll see if the deportation's happening. We'll see who is right. You realize that I called Trump was going to be back in like 4 years ago as soon as he lost?
Well, you can call it. Fine. He's back in.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people called it.
Did you call it? Did you think Trump was going to be back in before he even announced that he was running again?
I wasn't sure. I thought they selected Kamala. But nope. The American people said otherwise.
The Jews wanted Trump, and the Jews got their man. That's what happened.
No, the American Christian Gentile whites.
The Zionist? You mean the Zionist? The number one evangelical Christian, average white Christian in America is a Shabbos Goy Golem Zionist.
The American people that are concerned about inflation, the price of eggs, their grocery bills, and the illegals and the Haitians and all this crap garbage coming in. That's who elected Trump. They don't want wars. They're sick of the wars. They don't want it. Trump doesn't want it either. I guarantee you. Hey.
But the rabbis in Israel and Netanyahu do want to see the fall of Edom, and they do have a lot of power. And if they have their way, they're going to get it. I hope I'm wrong. I hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong. But unfortunately, I think I'm right. Time will tell. But you know what, Brother Nathanael? I appreciate you for having me on. your show to do the debates, and thank you for coming on. A lot of other Christians can't be friendly, even though we strongly disagree. They can't be friendly. They can't be cool. They can't do these streams. So hat tip to you for that, and I appreciate you coming on. Tell people where they can find you, about your show, and any closing remarks.
At Real Bronat, your number one noticer. And I just whipped your ass again.
The audience will judge. The audience will judge.
The Lord is the judge.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for supporting tonight. Appreciate your super chats. Thank you for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments. Am I right? Is Brother Nathanael right? Are we two frauds lying? Because, some people will say that, and they'll say, the comments will say, oh, two Jews arguing. No, I'm not Jewish. You guys are stupid liars.
No Yid would ever mistake you as a Jew.
I know, they don't. Only the spiritual Yids, the circumcised hearts, want to be Jewish Yids. All right. Thanks, Brother Nathanael. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and we'll see how things turn out. Everybody have a nice night. I will be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, with the great Henrik Palmgren from Red Ice. Everybody, hope to see you tomorrow. And I will see you guys again very soon. Thanks again, Brother Nathanael. Say bye to you after I close it out with this outro, okay? And we'll do this one. We'll do the Ultra Viking one. Okay, that's not playing for some reason. Here, we'll do this one.